Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're new here, well, welcome in. This is the Gilded Leaf, a space for tea, soul work, and plant wisdom, for the quiet conversations that live beneath the surface of ordinary days. Wherever you're listening from, I invite you to put on your headphones, find a soft, quiet space with something warm to hold. Take a deep breath. Because that's what we do here. And join me for a few moments of gentle reflection. Hi, I'm Bridget, the writer and voice behind the Gilded Leaf. And if we're sitting together right now, this is the part where I'd slide you a warm cup of tea across the table, take a breath, and say, okay, here's my truth. Cheers. Tonight, I'm sitting with what I think of as a small heart council, the fierce, lion-hearted presence of motherwort, the soft canopy of the herb linden, and the tender self-regard of rose. And beside them all, quieter than others, but unmistakably present, is Yarrow. You may have met Yarrow on this week's Wednesday weekly steep, and again on Friday. Her medicine, we talked about boundaries, her gift of discernment, her teaching that to be a healer, you must first know where you end and someone else begins. Tonight, she sits at the table with me as I say some things out loud that I have been turning over in my hands for a long time. What I carried into love is that I know how to love people. I know how to show up. I know how to hold a lot. I learned that young, and I strengthened it through years as a single mother managing a home, a child's inner world, the constant choreography of schedules and meals, feelings and bills. I stepped into that role of provider, that masculineness, and planner because someone had to. I didn't call it emotional labor back then. I called it survival, making do, keeping us going. And then I fell in love. To his credit, he stepped into an already moving family system, and that is not a small thing to walk into a life that has survived on grit, tenderness, and we'll figure it out. Take something real. And I loved him, I did. But here's the part I couldn't see clearly then. I had been holding so much for so long that when love arrived, what I felt beneath the joy was something quieter and more desperate. I hoped, without quite saying it out loud, that I might finally be able to put some of it down, that partnership would mean shared weight, that I could finally exhale. Instead, I watched myself remain in the same old role, just with another person in the house. If I imagine that time now, I imagine seeing motherwort standing just outside the frame, tall, watchful, waiting patiently for the day I'd remember I didn't have to carry it all. The invisible load was that on the outside we were in a relationship, but on the inside I still was the one carrying most of what no one sees. My daughter's emotional regulation, the weekly menu planning and the grocery lists, two people's schedule, and the small logistics that keep a home from unraveling. Space held for his healing from a marriage that had gone sideways. Tenderness extended for wounds that arrived before I did. And the mental weather, that constant background hum. Is everyone okay? What needs to happen next? Did I forget something? This is where erasure begins, not dramatically looking back, not all at once, just slowly, quietly, the part of me that wanted to soften, to be held, to rest, never quite got to arrive. I remained the backbone, the structure, the quiet architect behind the scenes. Linden, if she had a voice in that season, would have sounded like rustling leaves above my bed, whispering, "You are so tired, love. You deserve a sky that holds you too." Boundaries I didn't yet know how to name, and looking back, I can see how many edges I didn't yet know how to hold. I made room for the fractures from his past. I understood that he had been wounded, and somewhere in that understanding, my own needs slipped out of frame. In conflict, there was no shared repair, only deflection. Things that hurt me came back as my fault, my overreaction, my misstep, and slowly I started to shrink. I spoke less, I swallowed more. I didn't want to brace for another round of my feelings being turned into my flaws. This is where yarrow becomes more than an herb to me. Yarrow understands something about the cost of being endlessly permeable. She grows at edges, the boundaries between field and path, between the tended and the wild. Her medicine has always been about knowing where you end, about stopping the bleed, not in coldness, but in wisdom, the kind that says, "I cannot be useful to anyone if I have emptied myself trying to hold us both together." She stands beside me in that kitchen while I'm washing dishes after another hard conversation, and she asks quietly, "When did you decide that your tenderness was for everyone except for you?" And this is where Rose asks a version of this too, from her place at the table. Her wild kind, half thorned, half bloomed, reminds me that the heart can remain open without living unguarded. That softness is not the absence of a boundary. That beauty and self-protection belongs to the same stem. When the math stopped mathing, there came a point when the weight just didn't balance anymore. I was mothering, managing a home, holding a preteen's emotional landscape and a partner's unresolved grief, pain, and loss, trying to imagine a blended family with all of its complications and its tenderness, and doing it all inside a dynamic where conflict wasn't a safe place to land, which in retrospect was the mirror. I felt partnered in name. I did not feel partnered in practice. So piece by piece, I shut down. I became an avoidant, and he became anxiously attached, and that toxicity developed. Not because I didn't love him or I didn't care, but because I was depleted, because the body knows what the mind is slow to admit. I needed to set the load down. I could not keep carrying everything by myself while standing inside something called partnership. In my imagination, the Heart Council gathered around me in that moment. Motherwort with her fierce quiet enough now. The herb linden draping something soft around my shoulders, rose turning my face back towards my own reflection, and yarrow steady at the threshold, reminding me that leaving is not the same thing as failing, that discernment is its own form of love. What I also know to be true, and I want to say this clearly because it matters to me, this is not a story about a person that was a villain in my life. He was not one. And I was not without my own edges, my own blind spots, my own unfinished work walking through the door alongside me. What I know now and could only partially see then is that I came into that relationship with porous boundaries already in place. Not because I was weak, but because I had never truly had to name them. I had survived so long by being the one who holds, the one who adapts, the one who makes room, that I had mistaken accommodation for love and endurance for strength. Those were my patterns and mine to own. And then there was the particular strangeness of that season itself. We were building something tender and new inside a pandemic. That 5-year relationship, a time when the whole world had contracted into 4 walls and collected fear. There was no normal to return to, no outside life to give us perspective or relief. We were in a bubble, and bubbles distort. They magnify what is beautiful and what is broken in equal measure. What might have unfolded slowly with breathing room instead arrived all at once, compressed, intense, inescapable. I do not know who we might have been to each other outside of that particular crucible, and I think about that sometimes. I do. What I do know is that 2 people can wound each other without either of them being the wound. That love can be real and still not be enough. That the most honest thing I can offer here is not a verdict, but a reckoning with what I carried in, what that season asked of us both, and what I am still learning to do differently today. Yarrow does not ask who was right, because it doesn't matter. She asks, what are you willing to see? What that love taught me, for all of its heartbreak, I am grateful for that relationship. It revealed where my boundaries were porous. It showed me how easily I confused empathy with self-abandonment. It made it impossible to ignore how quickly I made myself small to keep peace, especially with a man that I loved. It also sharpened the outline of what I truly want. A relationship where conflict is a shared responsibility, not a courtroom, where my no is heard as a boundary, not as an accusation, where emotional labor is shared, not silently assigned to me by default, where I can rest in my own softness because the structure is not resting entirely on my shoulders. Those are the boundaries I did not know how to name back then. They're not walls. They are the edges that keep me from disappearing. And in plant language, that looks like motherwort lending the courage to say, this isn't working for me. the herb linden, reminding the nervous system that safety is possible, and rose, insisting the heart is worthy of reciprocity rather than endurance, and yarrow, holding the line quietly at the place where care becomes erasure. And what I'm practicing now being single again, I notice something tender and familiar I'm working on, not over functioning. I still slide into the role of the one who holds it all because I'm a mother and I have a teen, because it's a muscle that I've spent years strengthening. But the difference now is that I see it. When I catch myself doing everything, carrying everything, I pause. I put the kettle on and I listen and watch the water boil in the glass teapot of mine, and I ask myself, what am I afraid will happen if I ask for help? Or what do I believe it means about me if I say no? Or where did I learn that my worth is measured by how much I can carry for others? To be honest, the answers that rise up are not always comfortable, but they're mine. And that, cup by cup, feels like a slow return. It's my healing space. And how to hold without erasing yourself is what I'm learning. You can love someone without carrying everything for them. You can be compassionate without becoming the container for every unprocessed feeling. You can stay soft and still say, this doesn't work for me. Holding without erasure sounds like I hear your pain and my experience matters here too. Or it could sound like I can't carry both of our healing alone. Or maybe something like I need a partner who can stay at the table when things become uncomfortable. It looks like understanding that your boundaries do not make you hard. They make you visible. They do not mean you love less. They mean you have finally introduced yourself in the circle of your own care. It looks sometimes like calling the heart council to the table, motherwort for courage, linden for safety, rose for the beauty that belongs in your own heart, and yarrow standing at the edge, unwavering, for the discernment to know where you end and where love, true love, begins. And let's not forget the honey, because you guys know that sort of kindness makes life all the sweeter. So before you go, if you recognize yourself in any of this, in the overfunctioning, the shrinking, the bending into shapes to keep love, I want to say this gently. You deserve relationships where your truth has a safe place to land. You deserve to be loved in a way that does not require your disappearance. And certainly, you deserve to set some of the load down, even if that means walking away from someone you deeply care for. Tonight, as you hold whatever is warming in your hands, maybe let yourself ask, where am I holding more than is mine? Where have I made myself small so someone else can stay comfortable? Or what would it look like in one small concrete way to hold without erasing myself? Thank you for sitting at the tea table with me tonight, for letting me lay this particular story down in front of you. May your boundaries grow clearer, your heart grow gentler with itself, and may you find love in others and within yourself that allows you to stay fully present, fully visible, and fully you. And if you found your way here today, chances are you were meant to. So I ask for you to pass this podcast forward to the friend who is over-functioning, to the woman who has forgotten she is allowed to rest, to anyone learning that love does not require their disappearance. Because in the end, we are all just walking each other home. And so, this is Bridget, with all the warmth, steeped in intention, and offered with care. Cheers.